Welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm Matt.
I'm Winnie.
Today we're looking at part 3 of our fable, The Fox and the Grapes. All right, so we've seen that the fox has been trying to get these grapes and he's been unable to, but he keeps trying. So Winnie, have you ever been in a situation like this where there's something that's very hard to do, but you have to keep trying and trying to do it?
Well, actually a few years ago, there was a TV show audition that I just kept on auditioning for. And every time I would audition, they would be like, okay, can you send me another audition? So I would send them one, they would send one back. I'd audition. And then after many weeks, I didn't end up getting the show. But I actually don't regret it because I really learned how to perfect my auditioning style, and I learned how to make my auditions look, more professional. And I would say that even though I didn't get the show in the end, I actually felt really comfortable with my skills. So I wouldn't say it was a total waste of time.
Okay, so you're saying maybe the fox is learning some good jumping skills that he can...
I'm still hoping he gets those grapes.
All right, well, was it a good show in the end? Do you think it was...
I don't know, whatever. I hope it didn't do well.
You hope it didn't do well. Why?
Because I didn't get to be in it. But anyway, let's see what this fox learns in this fable.
The fox said to himself,
I am a fool. I made myself tired for a stupid bunch of grapes. They are sour for sure.
After that, the fox stood up. He said,
I don't want or need those grapes.
Then the fox walked away and didn't look back.
Welcome to our final part of The Fox and the Grapes, and we are going to finally see if this fox's, the multiple tries that he has done, if it's going to pay off. Yeah.
All right, well, let's see what happens in the story. The fox said to himself, I am a fool. I made myself tired for a stupid bunch of grapes. They are sour for sure.
Oh, okay. So for him, he kind of is thinking, if in this whole time, I probably could have gotten something else.
Could have spent his energy doing something else. He's not made the right decision, so he thinks that he is a fool. So a fool is someone who is not smart or doesn't have good common sense or doesn't make, good decisions about things they should do. And so a fool could just be a person who's not very smart. So when the fox calls himself a fool, he's seeing that he has made bad choices to try to go for these grapes because, as he said, they're probably sour anyway.
Right, exactly. And so we have this word stupid, which, like we said, it also means something that, or someone that is not very smart. But in this case, he's talking about this thing. It's kind of saying like, oh, well, this is a silly thing. It's kind of a waste of time. So when something is stupid, when a thing is stupid, you're kind of saying, well, oh, it's not really worth it. It's not really worth all of this effort. Sometimes you could even say that a fool is stupid. So someone who is stupid. And in this case, he's kind of saying, well, why did I waste my time on a bunch of grapes? It's not worth it.
All right, well, let's go to Tina now.
Hi, I'm Tina. 我们来看一下刚刚课文里提到的单字跟文法重点。首先来看看单字的部分。Fool， 名词傻瓜。Don't be a fool. Check the weather before you go hiking. 别傻了，健行前要查一下天气。Stupid， 形容词愚蠢的。I felt stupid after locking my keys in the car. 我把钥匙锁在车里后，觉得自己好蠢。我们再来看一下文法重点。刚刚课文提到了 for sure， 肯定的、无疑的，这是一个副词片语。Sure 的意思是肯定的、确定的。我们来看看这个例句。This is the best cake I've ever had for sure. 这肯定是我吃过最好吃的蛋糕了。接着我们回到课文当中。
Okay, and back to the story. After that, the fox stood up. He said, I don't want or need those grapes. Okay, so he's finally giving up.
All right, well, he said they were stupid grapes already.
Yeah.
He said they're probably sour.
Right.
So now he's sort of just convincing himself that
It's not going to be a good bunch of grapes.
those grapes weren't good anyway,
Yeah.
so why would I need those? So he's maybe trying to make himself feel less disappointed or sad that he didn't get the grapes by telling himself that the grapes are bad anyway.
Or maybe also try and tell him he didn't just waste a lot of time and energy. Yeah.
Then the fox walked away and didn't look back.
Okay, so he's very sort of like, okay, didn't waste the time. I tried my best, but let's just move on to the next thing, right? Well, let's see what Tina has to say.
我们来看一下刚刚课文里提到的文法 ，look back 回头，这是一个不可以分的动词片语。我们来看看这个例句 ：Jenny heard a noise and looked back quickly. Jenny 听到吵杂声后，立刻回头看。接着我们回到课文当中。
All right, so the fox has finally given up on his, efforts to trying to get those grapes, but maybe it's all right because he knows or he says that those grapes are no good, so he can be happy about his choice to walk away.
Yeah. Well, he gave it a try. Let's go to the second part of the story. We'll be right back.
However, that was all a lie. The fox really wanted the grapes, but he couldn't reach them. He would never admit that, so he pretended to not want the grapes because they were terrible.
Welcome back from the break. Before the break, we finally learned about what the fox did next after multiple tries, trying so hard to get this beautiful, juicy bunch of grapes. He finally just said, you know what, enough of this. I'm tired, I'm hot, I'm thirsty. I'm just gonna give up because you know what, that bunch of grapes, it doesn't even look that good. It looks like it's probably sour. So he's kind of he's kind of trying to convince himself that he doesn't really want it.
Right. He's trying to tell himself that those are no good anyway.
Right. It's okay. Yeah.
All right, well, let's get back to the story. However, that was all a lie. Okay, so the fox was lying to himself.
Okay.
The fox really wanted the grapes, but he couldn't reach them.
Listen, I sympathize with him. I feel for him. Okay, but at some point you do have to know when to quit.
All right, so he is lying. He doesn't really believe the grapes are sour. He doesn't think they're stupid grapes. He does really want them, so he is lying. So to lie, or to tell a lie, in this case, lie is being used as a noun. A lie is something that is untrue, and something that is usually spoken or written that is untrue, and the person saying or speaking it knows that it is not true. So the fox is lying. He is saying something that he doesn't really believe or that he knows is untrue.
Right, because I mean, imagine you're in a hot desert. It's really hot and you haven't had water for days and you see a coconut hanging from a tree and you couldn't get it and you'd say, oh, well, that's not going to be refreshing and delicious. And that's obviously a lie. Well, continuing on, he would never admit that. And of course, to admit something means to confess something that is true. And of course, he's never going to admit that because I think that would sting more. It would hurt more to realize, oh, the grapes are still there and I still can't get them. So, of course, he's going to lie to himself to make him feel better and maybe go find something else.
All right, well, maybe let's go to Tina now.
我们来看一下刚刚课文里提到的单字 lie 名词谎言 It was just a little lie, but it still hurt her feelings. 那只是一个小谎言，但还是伤了她的感情。Admit 动词承认 Andy admitted his mistake after the meeting. Andy 在会议后承认了自己的错误。文法的部分刚刚提到了 Somebody would never 加上动词，某人绝不会、不可能做某事。Would never 用来表达强烈否定的语气， 注意后面要接原形动词哦。我们来看看这个例句 ：Lisa would never lie to her best friend. Lisa 绝不会对她最好的朋友说谎。接着我们回到课文当中。
All right, let's get back into our story. So he pretended to not want the grapes because they were terrible.
Hey, whatever works for you, buddy.
Right, so he's lying to himself, and then he's also pretending to not want them. And as he said, it's just because he can't reach them. So to pretend means to act in a way as if something that is not true is true. So if you're pretending to be, someone that you're not, you may be acting in a way that you think people would expect that person to act. In this case, the fox is pretending that he doesn't want the grapes. So he's saying, stupid grapes, they taste sour, I don't really want them. But this is all not true. So he's acting in the way of something that is not true. It's kind of like telling a lie, but with your actions.
Yeah, and or sometimes, for example, if you're really hurt by something, you kind of pretend you're not because you don't want to be embarrassed or be seen as weak. So I know sometimes, for example, I'm like pretending that I'm okay when really I'm not. Okay, and so in this case, he's pretending to not want these delicious grapes, and he says they're terrible. And of course, terrible means something that is really bad. But let's be honest, how can a bunch of grapes be really terrible? And even if they were sour, I feel like that would still be better to eat than not having anything at all.
That is true. He is hungry, so he should probably just eat whatever he can get.
Yeah.
But he can't get those grapes.
Nope.
So. All right, let's go to Tina now.
我们来看一下刚刚课文里提到的单字 pretend 动词假装。Ben pretended to be sick so he could skip school. Ben 假装生病，好让他可以翘课。Skip 指的是故意不出席、不参加。Terrible 形容词糟糕的。The weather was terrible, so we stayed inside all day. 天气很糟，所以我们整天都待在室内。接着我们回到课文当中。
All right, so we've learned a lot in this story. I think we've learned some lessons, haven't we?
Yes. Well, so at first I thought, the moral of the story or the lesson that this fable was going to give us was that just keep trying, you'll get the grapes in the end. But in this case, I feel like the lesson is actually talking about how sometimes you have to know when to quit, because in the time that he was trying and trying again, he was getting more tired. He was getting more thirsty. In that time, he could have found something even better, or even just rest. Yeah, I don't know. That's how I see it. What about you?
Well, I think also this story, more than just a lesson, it kind of shows us an example about how a lot of people act when they're unable to get something that they want. So a lot of times in real life, people will be trying to get something, and then because it's something that they can't get, they'll say, that thing is bad or terrible and I don't want it anyway.
Right.
And actually, because of this fable, there is an expression that we can say when someone is saying something bad about something just because they can't have it.
Right.
And so if someone is complaining, you can say, that's just sour grapes. Because we know that the fox didn't really think the grapes were sour. It's only because he can't get them.
Right. It's kind of like being a sore loser. Like, have you ever played a game with your sibling or your friends and they're just like throwing a tantrum because they didn't win?
Yeah, and maybe they didn't want to win anyway.
Yeah, it's like, this is a stupid game anyway. Well, I, for one, don't really like it when people act like that. So when you do notice someone's kind of acting like, oh yeah, those are sour grapes, I think that's very telling of the type of personality they have.
Yeah. So maybe this fox isn't a good friend to have because, he's going to say, oh, you didn't invite me to your party. I didn't want to go anyway.
Well, now we know why that bird never picked up the phone.
That's right.
Well, we will review the story again, and we'll see you on the next one.
The fox said to himself,
I am a fool. I made myself tired for a stupid bunch of grapes. They are sour for sure.
After that, the fox stood up. He said,
I don't want or need those grapes.
Then the fox walked away and didn't look back. However, that was all a lie. The fox really wanted the grapes, but he couldn't reach them. He would never admit that, so he pretended to not want the grapes because they were terrible.
我们来复习一下这一课的重点单字跟文法。单字的部分 ，fool 名词傻瓜 ，stupid 形容词愚蠢的 ，lie 名词谎言 ，admit 动词承认 ，pretend 动词假装 ，terrible 形容词糟糕的。接着我们来看文法的部分 ，for sure 肯定的、无疑的 ，We are going to be late for sure 我们肯定会迟到的。Look back 回头 Amber looked back and waved before she got on the train. Amber 在上火车前回过头挥挥手。Somebody would never 加动词，某人绝不会、不可能做某事。Tina would never say that. Tina 绝不会说那种话。以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法，那我们下一课再见喽，拜拜。
Hey Shane, what's wrong? You seem a bit off.
I just totally blanked on my wife's anniversary yesterday. Well, I should say our anniversary, and now I am in the doghouse.
In the doghouse? What, are you living in the doghouse?
No, not like literally in the doghouse. It just means that she's like really upset with me.
Ah, that's tough. Have you come up with a plan to make amends?
Well, I'm planning on making a special dinner tonight, try to make it real romantic, got her some flowers, but I'm afraid it might be too late.
Well, maybe it's gonna work. Hello everyone! Today we're discussing the phrase in the doghouse.
Not in the cat house?
No, in the doghouse.
No, that's right. It means being out of favor with someone because you did something to upset or annoy them.
It's like you're being kicked out to sleep in the doghouse as a punishment for causing trouble.
The phrase is often used when someone has upset their partner, but it can also apply to situations with a friend or even a colleague.
Here's an example sentence. He forgot his wife's birthday and now he's in the doghouse.
Or she's in the doghouse with her boss after skipping that important meeting.
So next time you hear someone say they're in the doghouse, you'll know it means they're in trouble and need to make things right.
Exactly. And that's all the time we have for today.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.